Welcome back. We have another new machine and a fiery challenge on today's episode of Cut This, Polish That.
Today we're going to see the all-new Javelin CNC SawJet cut a fully mitered Dekton fireplace. Hey Jesse, I'm excited. You want to share with everybody why?
Absolutely, Rob. I am proud to show you guys the Javelin, Park Industries' latest CNC SawJet.
Tell us about the challenge we're going to put this thing through today.
We're going to be doing some ultra compact cutting, some compound miters, and much, much more.
Well, you know, the Javelin was really designed to be a great production machine, but also be the master of miters. So I'm excited to see what it can do on this incredible material. By the way, what are we cutting today?
Rob, we're cutting some 12mm Dekton Laurent by Cosentino, which is actually sponsoring this video today.
You know, this is exciting. We've got a heck of a beast of a machine here. We've got some beautiful material, and we've probably got one of the more challenging projects that we've cut on this show yet. So where do we go from here?
Let's head over to the studio and have a little overview on the programming and layout of this fireplace design.
Sounds great.
Hi, we're at the Park Studio. I'm going to give you a quick overview on how we programmed and laid out this fireplace to cut on Javelin today. Here's the layout that I have for the fireplace. On the top slab of Dekton, you can see I've got all the larger pieces all vein matched. And on this bottom piece of Dekton, you can see all my smaller intricate parts. Some of them are spread out a little bit, and I had to do that to achieve a better vein match. And here in AlphaCam, I'm just going to pull open one slab and show you the process that I went through for programming this. On this slab, all the pieces were quite large and nested in there pretty tight, and you can see that the saw couldn't reach everywhere, so the water jet had to take over and finish off the cuts for a really nice smooth blade to water jet transition. There is a total of 36 miter cuts on this intricate job that we cut out. So we're cutting Dekton, so we took advantage of the ultra compact button here. You can see that we got the tension band, we applied that, we got the compact cut, we applied that as well to all our saw cuts, and that helps with accelerating and decelerating out of the cuts. That way you can walk away without having to babysit the machine. So that was a quick overview on what we're going to be cutting today. Let's head back to the machine and start cutting.
Jesse, you ready to get this thing going?
Sure am, Rob. Let's move this over to table one. And from here, all we got to do is scan our job in and hit start.
Well, before we do that, one more thing to ask you. Since we got a double table machine, I think it'd be best to show everybody how we can take and load that table while this one's running and be ready for the second one.
Let's do it.
Perfect. All right, so it's playtime on the Javelin. One of the first things that we're gonna see the machine do is come around and do a tension band trim, which is a part of the program that we've got automated on this system for all of your sintered type materials that need to have that tension band trimmed out. We're only going to show this on the first slab just to save a little bit of time for everyone, but this gives you an idea of exactly how the machine will do it. When we're working on these products, we're going to come in at a much slower speed for our ramp in. Then we're going to speed up to our primary cutting speed once we're in the stone. And then as we exit the stone once again, we're going to slow back down to roughly about 50% of that cutting speed. And that's one of the nice beauties about our ultra compact feature on this machine. All right, now we've freed up the slab from our tension, and it's time to begin the actual cutting process. And as you'll notice in the background, we're going to start loading the second table while it's running on table one. I would expect this first slab is going to take somewhere around 35 minutes to process in full, and then we'll be able to move on to a slightly more complicated slab on the second table. 27 horsepower arbor motor is now cutting some of those critical miters on this slab. You're going to see us come down and we're going to measure the height at the beginning and the end of each of these cuts. That's going to allow us to vary that cut depth so that we can line our miter cuts up properly if there's any variation in the thickness of the material. It's been a great feature. Folks, this is the way to cut miters on any of your challenging slabs out there. Another thing I'd like to mention, folks, is with a slab this size, we have zero limitations on miter capabilities and cuts with the blade nor the water jet. We can go anywhere on this piece of material and cut any type of miter we would like. No limitations at all. Some of the largest miter envelopes out in the industry. So while we've sped this up for your viewing pleasure, we're going to wrap this slab up at about 35 minutes. This is the lesser challenging of the two slabs that we're cutting. Table 2 is going to probably bring us closer to that 55 to 60 minute range. But it's going to have more complex miter cuts. We're going to have a relief for a fireplace opening. We're going to have all kinds of things in there. All still while maintaining great integrity in the stone and incredible vein matching capabilities that we'll show you with the finished project. So as we finish up slab 1 here, just to break down the parts that we've cut out, we'll have our hearth, a couple of aprons, and a toe kick for our fireplace. As we move on to slab number 2, we're going to be working on the fireplace opening, the mantle, the TV back, and the top and bottom. So you'll see us come back to the home position. We'll rotate that arm over. We're going to move on to all of our standard cutting here. Again, you're going to see the full utilization of the slab with both blade and water jet. You're going to see miters 0 to 47 with the blade. You're going to see miters 0 to 58 with the water jet. As we finish cutting out the fireplace opening, you'll see the blade cut 95% of that cut, but it's going to leave a little bit of relief work in there for the water jet to come back and finish, and we'll come do that after we get all of our blade cuts done. So when we get finished cutting this, we're going to take a close look at the blade to jet transitions. This machine's running on precision ground helical rack and pinion, and it gives us accuracies that are identical to what we've got on our Titan routers. They're tight, they're beautiful, and they're some of the best blade to jet transitions I've ever seen on any machine in the industry. And you can see the location of the entire cutting head centered on the bottom of the bridge there. Reduces all of the side torque, and that's what gives us some of the most accurate cutting. Really gives us deflection-free cuts out there. So we're enhancing all that accuracy, even when that blade is all the way out to the end of the bridge. When there's a nice perimeter miter cut with the blade right to the edge of the stone. And you can see us reach all the way to the end corners on that without any deflection or deviation. All right, folks, it's time to finish up with the blades and move on to the water jet. So you're going to see our height sensor come down and read the height of the stone at the beginning and the end of each cut. So while we focused on some really high-end custom work here, this machine's also designed to give you some high production work as well. A machine like this, cutting your basic quartz and stone materials, is easily going to give you 2 to 3 slabs an hour, no problem at all. Keep in mind, dual table, saw water jet, slab loader options, configuration options, just a whole gamut of versatility with a machine like this to fit just about any shop out there. So in the end, folks, the Javelin truly is the only saw jet that hits all the targets right in the bullseye. I hope you enjoyed the view of these 2 slabs getting cut, and our next step is to get over and take a closer look at the results. Hey Jesse, I think this turned out pretty darn good. What a challenging thing, but just out of curiosity, how long did this take?
Rob, probably took about an hour and 45 minutes.
Okay. Well, and we weren't really going for speed. We were going for quality.
Right.
But that's still pretty darn fast
Real
to cut
fast.
a couple of slabs of Dekton. And if you look at the crisp, clean cuts we've got here, I mean, these miter cuts are sharp like a razor. These inside corners are beautiful. The transitions are seamless. I don't know that I've seen it done better than this, ever.
I'll agree with that. For Decton, this Decton Laurent, you can't ask for a better quality cut.
And it's exactly the type of material that this machine was designed to cut. With the precision ground, helical rack and pinion, your cuts aren't going to get any better than this.
So here you can see a little time lapse of us putting it together. Very, very easy to assemble with the perfection that the miters came off on that Javelin. Very easy to do. You can slowly see this Decton fireplace come to life. Well, there you have it. Here's the fireplace all assembled. That was my first time gluing up miters, fabricating any type of stone, even rounding over these edges. There you have it. Look at the miters on this thing. Came out perfect. One hiccup I did have is I did have two layouts in Slabsmith, and I chose the wrong one. I got the vanes going the wrong way on this panel, but TV will be there to cover it. Not a big deal. It was a fun project to show you guys what the Javelin can do, and I cannot wait to see what you guys do within your shop.
Absolutely amazing. And if you'd like to come up here and see this for yourself, just reach out to your sales rep and tell them you'd like to travel to Park on our dime, and we'll get you in front of this machine.
And one more time, I'd like to thank Constantino for sponsoring today's episode. And that wraps up one more episode of Cut This, Polish That. We'll see you guys next time.
All right, Jesse, I'm excited for this one. What do you got going for us today?
I don't know.
See, that shot of tequila was great.
Me too, I've had two already. We're back here at the Javelin. We've got one slab loaded and one ready to go. Let's fire this up.
I was ready for it.